I was sitting there and I was watching that game, and there was a minute left of the game. The Knicks are up by 6 points, and I was looking at the calculations. The chances of anybody coming back was like 89%. Okay, so the Knicks would have to really choke and make a stupid mistake for them to lose this game. And what does Mitch Robinson do? I have no idea what they were thinking. They actually had a foul to give, and Mitch stands over there. He knows Tyrese Maxey is going to hoist up and try to get contact. And that's what he did. He just threw that three up, and as hot as he was, he tossed it up, and it went in like there, as you see right there with Fish. And he draws a foul and gets the 4-point play, and absolutely. And everybody wants to blame Hart. Oh, because he couldn't hit his free throws. He made one. It had nothing to do with Hart. If Mitch didn't make that stupid and have that stupid foul, the Knicks win the game no matter what, Hart hitting that shot or not. Even if Maxey hits that 3-pointer, they win the game. I thought, I don't care what anybody says, that was the game right there. What were your thoughts? And I'm going to tell you this right now. I think the Knicks lose game 6. It's going to go to game 7.
The only thing that could cross my mind, and I'm probably going to screw this up on my phone on my way, but the only thing I could think about is LJ with the 4-point play.
That's right.
You know, I was like, oh man, like what a shot by Tyrese Maxey. That dude was incredibly hot. You could tell Joel Embiid had absolutely nothing. It was Tyrese Maxey versus Jalen Brunson, basically. And the Knicks offense was Jalen Brunson just going out there trying to make something happen every single possession. And while I like having a guy that you can just give the ball to and he can make a play or make something happen, I would have loved to seen them move the ball a little bit, because as you see, like, he's missing layups. He got blocked at the end. He tries to go for that 3 and gets on the wrong page with Hartenstein, and that's just not the type of offense. So as good as Jalen Brunson played, I'm not going to blame this loss on him, but he had some mistakes within this game, and Tyrese Maxey outplayed him. And I've always been of the mindset that when you're up 3, and the other team has however many seconds to go, you go out there and you foul them. You put them at the line, you make them make the 2 free throws, or you get a rebound and you get fouled, you make your free throws, whatever it may be. Like, I don't like giving a guy, especially as hot as Tyrese Maxey was, even a 34-footer. I get it, you know? It is what it is. Mitchell Robinson, that whole play, I know the NBA came out and said, oh, it was a travel on the 4-point play. Bullshit. I don't care. What good does that do me now? That's like coming out and saying after game 2 that, oh yeah, Tyrese Maxey was fouled twice on that inbounds pass, and the Knicks stole the game from the 76ers in game 2. Well, can we talk about, and not many people do, the 2-hand shove that Tyrese Maxey gave, I think it was Jalen Brunson and or Josh Hart, to get a little space there. That should have been a call to foul anyways. But so I don't really buy much into that. I think the Knicks are the better team in this series. Maxey had a nice shining moment. We saw Embiid have his 50-point game. The Knicks will win game 6 in my estimation. They'll go out, they'll move on to the second round for consecutive years, for only the first time since basically I think it was 99-2000, which is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
So I have them winning in Philly. They should have won that game in New York. It would have been very apropos if that were to happen. Patrick Ewing, with his old ass knees, couldn't get up off of his chair. He was cheering from his seat. You had Carmelo Anthony with the Knicks hat, who was going nuts, hanging with Starks and Spree. And I love all the old Knicks there. It would have just been so cool to see them finish it off there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do it. But still, I like where this team's at. I think they will win game 6, and they'll take care of business, because the 76ers are just not that good. And Joel Embiid is cooked at this point. He's playing on one leg.
Yes, I wanted to ask about Joel Embiid, the flavor of foul. I personally thought he should have been suspended. I think the NBA is a bad double standard with that. Like, if Mitchell Robinson did it to Embiid, he's probably suspended, but they have to protect their star. So what are your thoughts with the whole Embiid saga that's gone on the last 2 games?
He's been a bit of a dirty player, we'll say that for sure. And I saw like a clip of him, I think it was on Instagram or something like that, with all the different sort of antics that he's had. And he's not Draymond Green, but because he doesn't, hit somebody between their nether regions or down below or whatever it may be. Or
choke him to death.
Yeah, exactly. But like, he's like one step below where Draymond Green is at this point. And that one yesterday, I don't think there was anything malicious. It was the right call, but I just think he was so tired, and he was just kind of like, he's so big and sometimes can't control how his body moves when you're that tired and you're that hurt and you just kind of like swipe down. It was the right call, but I didn't think that was an incredibly dirty play. Like him twisting around Mitchell Robinson. Like I didn't like that, or some of the other shots that he's taken at Mitch Rob over the course of this series. So I'm not a big Joel Embiid fan. I think he's an incredible talent. What he was able to do going out and scoring 50 points in game 3 was incredible, basically on one leg. And the fact that he's still able to put as much touch as he is on his shot, he's able to get others involved, still rebound the basketball. The Knicks are going to win this series with their offensive rebounding, because that's what they've sort of hung their hat on this entire season. I need a little bit more out of Dante DiVincenzo, though. He needs to get hot. I liked OG going a little bit in that game 5 the other night. Brunson obviously was really good, and Josh Hart has been fantastic this entire series. He's just the, no pun intended, heart and soul of what this team is and what they do. And Hartenstein has even been pretty good offensively with that little lefty push shot, but he didn't play a whole lot with Mitchell Robinson back in there. Maybe get Hartenstein a couple of more minutes, especially after what Mitchell Robinson did. But yeah, just going back to your original question about Joel Embiid, not a huge fan, but to me, the Knicks finish it off in Philly. We know the Knicks fans are going to go invade Philadelphia again. What is it, Wells Fargo Arena? So I'm hoping, amongst hope, but again, that's just me being a Knicks fan. And with that being said, they'll probably lose in game 6, and it'll probably have to go to a game 7 just to give me a little bit more of an ulcer.
They usually do that. And by the way, why isn't Precious playing? I have no idea. I mean, I don't understand. And that's the thing. Tom Thibodeau should get a lot of credit for his transition, his offensive style. Nobody thought he was going to change this team's offense to that fast-paced offense. Over the last couple of years, he stays stagnant. That's what he is. Defensive-minded, rebound. And you have your superstar player that isolates everything. It wasn't like that all season long. They actually moved the ball very, very well. And that's really what's been missing for the last 2 games. I mean, Jalen Brunson put up 47 points the other day, but nobody else can hit a shot. Everybody could, and that's the problem with the Knicks. They don't have any secondary scoring. I don't want to hear about Julius Randle, okay? I'm tired of it. Julius Randle is not a playoff player. Go look at his numbers. He's not a good playoff player. So stop it, Knicks fans. I don't want to hear, well, if we had Julius Randle, this series would have been over. No, it wouldn't have. It might be worse, okay? Because he'd be ball hogging, keeping the ball out of the hands of Jalen Brunson, because he's going to want to take over. So I don't want to hear about Jalen Brunson. But going into the offseason, okay, whatever happens, the Knicks could go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. My prediction is they should be in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. And they're missing one player. And there was rumors as Stephen A. Smith comes out and says that Devin Booker for the last year and a half would love to come to the Knicks and love to play for Leon Rose, because that was his agent. And he has a lot of respect for the growth of this team and what the Knicks have done over the last couple of years. Where do the Knicks go? Do you see the Knicks making a big move? They have 6 first-round draft picks in the next 2 years. Finally, they have a bunch of draft stock now. But we've seen this team over the last 3 years not draft a first-round draft pick because, hey, you know what? We have Leon Rose, so I'm not going to take shots at, because everything he touches turns the gold. But this guy has been trading off pick after pick after pick. You got 6 of them. Where do the Knicks go? Do they add another big name to this roster?
I would love if they would add another big name to this roster. They're clearly needed. Like, I really love what Jalen Brunson has done this year. And I'm not saying he can't be like bona fide the best player on your team, but it just doesn't seem like he can be the best player on a championship team. Like, you put him as a Robin, that would be fantastic. And if you had Julius there, yeah, you might get a little bit more offense, but the defense gets a little stagnant sometimes, and he's a little bit lazy when it comes to the defense. But he is a bigger body, so that would help. Somebody else you could throw maybe at Joel Embiid, but that's neither here nor there. I would love for them to go and get another piece. I don't know if Devin Booker's the right piece, but I've heard, for many years being a Knicks fan, that, this guy's rumored he really likes New York, or he really wants to come, this, that, and the other thing. The only thing that I can hope is that with what this team has done and what Tibbs has done and Brunson has done, that they can attract somebody to want to come to New York. Like, you had Amari Stoudemire back in the day, and Carmelo would have come I'm pretty positive if they would have just let him get to free agency. Instead, they got impatient because things were going real good with Stoudemire. And they said, hey, we got to go make a big move and a splash and trade away all these fun pieces that we have already established here right now to go get Carmelo. And it really just didn't end up working out. So I would love to sit here and say, boys, that it would be great to just sort of build through the draft. But this draft in particular, like, I'm no NBA draft analyst or anything along those lines, but people much smarter than me have told me that this is not a very good draft class for players. So if y'all want to go ahead and trade away a pick this year, that's completely fine for me. Who they go out and get with that pick, I'm not 100% sure. Look, I know Giannis has been sort of rumored around a little bit. That would be a real nice piece. If you could replace Julius Randle with a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, I would be all for that.